I recently did a video showing people how to use just their web browser to apply CSS to their MyListing websites and to empower people and show them that it is not as difficult as maybe they thought it might be, to reduce those number of asks and help desk or hiring a developer and that sort of thing. Just again, to empower people to be able to elevate their designs on their own using CSS. In this video, we're going to take it a step further. So this is for beginners, intermediates, and experts. This tool is called CSS Hero, and this is going to allow you to take your CSS to a whole new level. If you're on the beginner side, that previous video that I did using your browser to inspect the code, maybe that's a little daunting for you. So this is going to alleviate that pain, that fear for you. If you're intermediate or advanced, this is going to allow you to do things that you never thought you could do. Potentially like animations, complex animations, or just saving you a ton of time. Maybe you are an expert and you know CSS extremely well, but this is going to save you a ton of time, even though you are more advanced. This tool, CSS Hero, go to csshero.org and just scroll around. It is absolutely loaded with features. It's not going to slow down your site. So that's an important thing to mention. And also there's no lock-in. So whatever you do here, if you, for some reason, you don't want to use this tool anymore, it's very easy to export your CSS and move it to your site and you're good to go. So definitely come over here, csshero.org, click on the features tab also, and just run through here. There's just so many features, okay? If you are a client of mine, so under website care, manage my listing, you're under my hosting, or you've bought a starter site for me, you will get a copy of this for free. So license, okay? I have a starter site, copy of one of my starter sites pulled up here, and I'm going to emphasize it is a copy, it's a clone, it is a test site, a sandbox. So if you see something wonky, like on my screen, you don't see the map loading, not an indictment of my product, it's a test site, okay? So you may see some wonkiness, okay? In the back end, you can load CSS Hero by clicking in this toolbar area. This is going to take over your WordPress dashboard though. So I recommend opening a new tab and just going to the front end of your website. And then as long as you have your browser, your toolbar enabled for your user account in WordPress, you'll see this toolbar, and then CSS Hero will be in that for you. Okay. As part of this video, we are going to answer a question that came into the MyListing Club community, and that was how to do two things: how to style the search bar in mobile view, and then how to style these radio buttons right here. Okay, the buttons, the labels. I think the labels is what the gentleman was asking for. This will show him how to do both. Okay, so we're going to answer those questions. So right here on the Explorer page, I'm going to go ahead and click the CSS Hero button to load this up. If you see a reloading situation like we see on my screen right here, just click the X up here near the address bar of your browser, and that'll stop that. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we're going to switch over to mobile view. So up here in the top, you have all different views. We're going to switch into tablet just because it's bigger to see for the purposes of this video. And the gentleman wanted to change this, the background of this search box. So all you do is hover over it, left click, and then it's the side panel is going to come up in CSS Hero, and we're going to change the background. So all we do is go to background, we click on this little color box right here, and we're going to change it to a light gray. Okay, so you can see on my screen how that has changed. All right, as a bit of a bonus, let's go ahead and change the icon as well, the little search icon. So we're going to click on the icon. When you work with icons, that's going to be considered typography in some cases. So we're going to go ahead and click on the color box again. We're going to change that to a blue. I don't know why that didn't. Oh, that was a background color. That's my fault. Let's go ahead and set that back. I clicked on the wrong one. So make sure you choose the right menu item. We want to go back to typography. Remember I said it's typography. We're going to click then on the color box and change that gray to a blue. There we go. So that's blue. Now you see that I inadvertently set a background color on the icon. So let's go back to our background and set that back to just make it transparent. There we go. Okay, so there you go. But anyway, that's how easy it is to change this stuff. It's just point and click, and you've got a million gazillion options. Like right from here, you could set a background image to this thing. I mean, it's just gradients are going to be a breeze now. Like it's really, there's so many powerful things. While I'm thinking of it, you see the code down here in the bottom left. That is how I learned CSS. Like I told you back in the day, what I would do is I would watch and I would see what it would output, and I would just memorize it. I would learn and I would tinker, and it would help me understand all of these different selectors. Like we see hashtag C27. That's how you know it is a 27 collective, a my listing team. That's one of their how they label some things. So that you start recognizing things, and you can even manually change the values in here once you get comfortable. Okay. All right. So the next thing, we want to make sure we save our changes. So that's down here in the bottom right. There we go. So the next thing he wanted to do again was those radio button designs. So for that, we would think, oh, we can go over here and click into filters. No, that doesn't work because we are still in edit mode. So we need to go up here into our menu and choose navigate mode. Just flip that toggle. Now we click on filters. There we go. Now that we're in the view that we need to edit, we go back and we click edit. We find the element we want to change and we just go through the process again. Now, I wanted to show this specifically because this is a little more complex. So you would think, okay, I want to change the color of these dollar signs. You would think I can just click this and go and set the color and you'd be good, but that's not going to work. So what you need to do in this case is you need to drill down and find the right element. Okay. To do that, just select once you click this and you go over here and you say, okay, let's typography. Let's set this. Okay. It's set to black. Let's set it to blue. That should work. Right. And you figure that doesn't work. So you got to back out. Right. So you come back to that element that you thought again. And now instead of left clicking, you right click and you just work through here. And if you look at the tree, you'll see there's nothing. Like if you were to work through here, none of this would work. What we're looking for is a label. And I just know that just from working with this for years, that I'm looking for a label element. So you poke around through here and you stumble upon this alternatives option. You click into there and there you go. I see something called label. So I'm going to click the label. Okay. And now I'm going to give that label a color. So that would be typography. I'm going to click the color box and I'm going to we'll choose red just so you can see it. There we go. Okay. Now, an important point here is you see how all of the labels on here light up red. Okay. We only want to change this one element. So now when we click submit, we notice that element is red, but also we've got one more down here, open now. Why is that red? And for whatever reason, that is taking on that same design from that element above. So the way CSS is, it's called cascading style sheets, CSS. So think of it like a waterfall. But the styling that you apply at the very bottom, applies. So as you go further down, whatever you apply at the top, if you apply something similar to the bottom, that overrides. So we only wanted our color to apply to the dollar signs, in this case, the label of the radio buttons. So now what we need to do, because we're working further down that waterfall, we need to go and choose this element. So left click on the open now. We're going to go to typography and we're going to change the red, change this to blue. Or actually we'll do green just so it stands out. Okay, there we go. And submit. Okay. Now we see, because we edited an element that's further down the cascade, it didn't apply what's above it, only what's below it. Okay, so now you have those individual elements styled. Okay, so that answers both of those questions. So I'm going to respond to this gentleman in the MyListing Club community. Remind him that let me save my changes. Remind him that he can refer to my previous video. We're doing it by hand through the browser. Go ahead and check that out if you want. Or a copy of CSS Hero is available to him. I've given him the way, how to do it, and anything else he wants to set, right? So that answers those questions. And then now he and everybody else, whoever wants to use this, has the power to do I mean, a gazillion things. We could be here all day talking about the feature set. It's not just about colors. It's not just about typography. There's a million things. And then if you start looking at poking around, you can get into variables. You can get into mobile responsiveness. You can get into custom fonts. Under tools, there's HTML inspector, a JavaScript editor, video backgrounds, style login pages. Like there's view as a logged out user, show hover in it, like just a million things. Down here in the bottom right, we have a QR code where you can like send this, provide it to people, and they can do things like on their device with it, like maybe share a design with clients or whatever. Then you've got this thing called a site browser. When you click that, it's kind of like brings up the whole all of the pages that make up your website and like this navigation. You can load it and edit it right from there. You can preview it. Really cool stuff there. You got a preferences table where you can set all kinds of like your personal preferences, whether it's different types of modes, dark mode, light mode, all kinds of different things there, font sizes. You can export your settings. So if you have another project you want to export your stuff to, you can do that. Just a lot of stuff. If the time comes when you're like, you've done all the edits you think you're going to do, and you're like, I would just like to get rid of CSS Hero because I've done pretty much all I need to do. You can easily export your CSS and then drop it right into your website, which then I recommend using a tool like WP Codebox, okay? And then drop it into the appropriate area so that it's properly, so it's only loading where it needs to load, not everywhere on the site. I've got videos and guides. I talk about that sort of thing, okay? But that's just when the time comes, when and if you want to get rid of CSS Hero. You can also do it as you go along. So you see the code that this outputs, right? You can grab it right then and there. Grab it. So we're talking about, what are we talking about here? We're talking about the labels here for our Explore page. So we know we can grab that code, come over here. We can go to our Explore page, CSS, select it, and just drop it right in here to where it needs to go. And you could just do it as you go along. So that way the CSS Hero never holds your data, your CSS edits. That's another way that you can do it. Otherwise you just have to export it all en masse and then bring it over that way. Okay. You just got there's a million different views, guys. I mean, I could be here all day, but this is the main thing I wanted to show, was to answer the question and to show the power of this thing. There's just a million. Save as a snippet. You can generate code snippets from this. I mean, it's just, and then export those. And again, all these different views. I'm going to show you one more really cool thing before we go. I want to style something on the homepage. I think it'd be really cool to show people. All right, so let's go back to the top. Let's switch from edit mode to navigate mode, and let's go to our homepage. Now, what if, for fun, we wanted to change the color of these taxonomy buttons, right? Individually for each card. Could we do that? With CSS Hero, you absolutely can. You can do it by hand too with that other video I showed. It just takes longer. So let's go back and toggle over into edit mode. Let's click on this first item here. Let's go to properties, background. Let's change that blue. Let's do red. Oop, that's not the right element. We'll just cancel that. Okay, I've got the right one selected there. It's doing the whole element. Let's just reload the whole page. I'm not sure what happened there. Oops. Let's go back to navigate mode. Clicking around too much here. There we go. Okay, let's try this again. Switch over to edit mode. Let's select. Make sure we got the right thing selected. So we got that selected. Okay, background. I don't know why it's doing the whole element. There's probably something I've got clicked on here. Let's try the second one here. Maybe I just need to. It is selecting more than it should. So maybe we need to just reload this thing. Let's try one more time. See how it's selecting the whole box? Shouldn't be doing that. So let's try selection mode only this. There we go. Now let's change that to red. There we go. So sometimes you gotta tinker with that. It was trying to do too much. So by doing only this, let's see what that says. Choose current selector context. Use this. Okay, for page specific edits. Okay. All right. So let's now go. I can get out of this. Let's go select the second box. Background color green. Go to the third. Background color darker blue. Let's go to the fourth one and let's just do like an orange. There we go. And let's submit our changes. And down here in the bottom right again, let's save our changes. And let's go to the front end just to prove that we are good to go. There we go. How cool is that? How long would that have taken you otherwise? Just think of the possibilities that you could do with this. How cool is that? Let's for fun. Let's go a little bit more bonus material and I'll get you guys out of here. Let's see what we can do on our single listings. All right, let's go to something more traditional. Let's go business again. This is a test site. Don't hold what you see against me. What if we wanted to change? Let's see if we could change these individually. That would be cool. All right, let's go to CSS Hero, fire that up. Let's click on this very first. We got that reloading issue. There we go. Okay, so let's do the very first card here. Background, red. Let's choose our selection mode. Let's do only this again. Choose that card. Background red. Let's choose the next card. Background, whatever this is, tealish looking. Let's go to the next one. Background, lime green. Let's go to this next one, and then we will see what our results are. Let's do like a blue. There we go. Let's submit our changes. Bottom right of the screen. We're going to save them. Don't ever forget that. Save when you're ready to go. Okay, now let's switch our toggle in the toolbar area from edit to navigate. And let's reload our page. Let's get out of it. Let's just go to the actual front end of our site and get out of the CSS Hero view. There's something with the Explorer page, I think, is a little wonky there. Yeah, it was businesses, right? We did. Okay, let's try it again. Businesses, background. Yeah, that looks like it worked. Only this. Maybe it didn't save for some reason. Submit. 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 Yeah, maybe I'd have to drill down into this a little bit more. Submit. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and save my changes. Let's see if they come into here. It could just be something with the Explorer page trying to load wonky. Yeah, it looks like it's trying to load wonky. Yeah, I don't know. That's strange. Let's go to navigate mode, refresh. Let's go back to edit mode. Oh, there we go. So see, something was caught up there. So let's try this again. Choose that background. Oh, okay. So it's that. There we go. So there's that overlay, right? Let's try. Switch from normal to only this, and let's edit this one. Let's do pink. There we go. Let's do this third one down. Let's set this to green and submit. All right, let's see if that sticks. Yep, that is not working. So it could be a situation like we talked about before where we need to put an important tag on those. So let's go back to these. Let's hover over the color and let's set as important. And let's do it for that green one as well. Set as important. And save our changes. There we go. Super, super cool, right? All right, let's run through that one more time. Okay, let's go back over here. We'll do this healthcare one. So click on the card. We set its color. Let's do red. Let's set it as important. Okay, which it is now. And let's save our changes. Let's refresh. Now this healthcare right here should change and be red. There we go. Super, super cool. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I did a previous video. If you don't want to add this plugin to your site for whatever reason, I showed you by hand how you could do this. It is going to take a little bit longer. It's going to be a little more complex depending on what it is that you're trying to do. But if you want all that pain to go away, potential pain to go away, then you could use a tool like CSS Hero and do all kinds. Like we've scratched 5%, 10% of what this plugin can actually do. There's to take your designs to a whole new crazy, crazy level. And I'll wrap this up by saying, you don't want to just go hog wild crazy with animations on your site. Please don't do that. But if you want to do certain animations on certain elements and pages, then this is the way you could do that, or background video images, or all kinds of stuff. When you empower people to do certain things, that doesn't mean that they should go out and just be willy-nilly do crazy stuff, because that's not really, it's going to add some value, but what you really want to focus on is making your content and everything, your copy, your content, your images, everything beautiful, and draw attention to what you want people to see and not distract them with things that are unnecessary, like overly animating everything. So if you go to those websites, and like literally everything on the screen animates coming at you from all different directions, just use the stuff responsibly and tastefully when you go about this stuff. I just wanted to show you the power of, what is possible, and for very easy. And if you're a client, for free. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Catch you in the next one.